Hey friends, welcome to the Wonder Who channel. My name is Naja. If you are new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to be doing a little bit of harvesting, and I'm going to be harvesting specifically perilla today. I want to go into the kitchen after I harvest perilla and show you a recipe. And the reason I want to harvest this perilla is I'm getting a lot of flowers, so its bolting is coming to the end of its life. And also I'm noticing pest pressure again. Leaves just chewed up overnight. So I need to harvest as much perilla as I can at this point. So as you see here, the plants have gone to start flowering. I have been coming and picking off the flower heads, but I think I'm ready to be safer than sorry. So I decided I need to come out here and get this harvested before any frost comes or the pest pressure just will not let up. Perilla, to me, if you've never had it before, it's like a minty, but not strong. It's like a minty, savory, aromatic smell to me. It is part of the mint family, but it is not specifically a mint. So when it comes to nature and the plant going to seed, I'm not going to fight that. It's starting to get cold. But what I am going to fight is the pest. And I don't see any pest on it, but something's chewing it up at night. So they're not going to keep getting my perilla plants. I've worked so hard to try to keep some of these going. And so as far as edibles are concerned, the perilla plants were the most withstanding of the heat and the pests. I had some perilla plants that were eaten down to their stems like skeletons, and they came back to life. So I definitely think that perilla is resilient, and you take care of it and it'll take care of you. Yeah, the pests really got to this one, it looks like. Friends, these leaves smell so intoxicating. They smell like I said, it's herbaceous, minty flavor, but mint is not like the top note, and it smells like sesame oil in a way. I really appreciate this. This was something that I knew that I wanted to grow, because every time I would go to like the H Mart or the local Asian farmers market style store, I would grab some sort of Vietnamese perilla or Korean perilla leaves. I just love them. I just love them. When I learned that I could grow it, you better believe I was on it. Interestingly enough, it lasted quite some time in my garden last year. And let me show you something. This is some brush in my backyard. And it's got a lot of overgrowth, probably of some blackberry and raspberry canes and some Chinese privet that probably needs to be cut back, and then some meadow violet. So you can see this is, this is not garden soil. This is not raised bed soil. This is not amended soil in the traditional sense. But as you can see here, I have perilla growing. So it made it all the way over here. And I think most of my perilla was in the front of my house in a planter. And then this is one right here. So some of the perilla plants that are over in my parents' yard in the green stalk, they came from over here. Some of them have been cut by the lawn service, but it's yet holding on. So isn't that interesting? And I'm going to let that stay there. Now this baby right here, I shared this perilla plant with you in its beauty and fullness in my September garden tour. And look, this is what first caused me alarm. It is getting chewed up. Look at these flowers and the way they develop. So this is our harvest. We'll take it on inside, get it washed up, and start on the very quick recipe. I'm gonna get this rinsed off, and then I'm gonna wash it So I have a note to read to you, and I just wanted to read from the note because I wanted to say this before I got into this recipe. So just a note on the recipe authenticity. This recipe is my personal interpretation of 깻잎 Jangajji, which is soy braised pickled perilla leaves. And it's based on the ingredients that I have available in my kitchen. I share this recipe as an appreciation rather than an authentic version. If you are seeking traditional recipes, I encourage you to learn from incredible Korean creators who share their knowledge and heritage with the world. And one of my favorites is minty, whose work has taught me so much about Korean cooking. All right, thank you for letting me read that to you instead of memorize it, because I want to strike the right tone of respect, appreciation, and also being authentic to me and my abilities. All right, first thing we're going to do is get the brine started. So I'm going to be putting the leaves and the soy brine in this jar here. And then I've got a lid and I've got a fermentation weight. This is not necessarily needed, but because this batch is going to be probably longer term for me, I wanted to make sure that everything stays submerged. I have already made the recipe once before, and every time I have some sort of Asian style or Asian inspired dish, or sometimes just plain rice, I'm grabbing that. I don't expect what I make today to last very long, maybe a month or two, and that'll be bittersweet because then I'll have to wait. So I'm gonna do 1 cup of soy sauce, that 1 cup of water, and then 4 tablespoons of rice vinegar. So this is rice vinegar. And this is measuring with my heart, because I know this is not a tablespoon. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar or honey. So I'm gonna do sugar. And you'll need 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic, but who are we kidding? You probably need more than that. But I don't have any fresh garlic per se available right now, but I do have a couple of jars of minced fermented garlic that I made. So I'm going to use that. And that's like, what is that? Almost maybe a tablespoon? Is that 1 to 2 teaspoons? I'm going to use some gochugaru for optional spice. So that's about a half a tablespoon. And then some sesame oil and sesame seeds. So we've got the sesame seeds right here. All right, we're gonna stop there. I actually am going to have to put the sesame oil and the sesame seeds in at the end. I should have waited to put the garlic and the gochugaru in after things came to a boil, but I forgot to do that. So I've got the heat on, and I'm gonna stir this up and let this come to a boil. All right, now that we have the brine warming up and coming to heat, I can now work on these leaves. I want to dry them off, and you're like, why dry them off if they're just going to get wet again? I want to just use this as an opportunity to inspect as well. Make sure I have good leaves and any leftover pests are taken off. Look how beautiful and big one of these leaves can get. Look at that. That's when you really want the perilla. And in my first batch of this, I was able to get leaves that big pretty consistently. And I smell the brine, so it's gonna come to a boil real soon. And I don't know if I stated, but I like to eat Korean perilla before I learned of this recipe as putting it inside my gimbap or eating it in salads, or I have a video on my channel of me adding a little Korean perilla to a noodle salad. Those are the ways that I knew to eat it. I just really knew about eating it in a fresh format and not a preserved format. So this is what the brine is looking like right now. And I believe the reason why you don't heat up the garlic and the gochugaru is because probably dulls their potency, or I could be incorrect. It might make it worse, but I think with the fermented garlic, and again, I just don't have regular garlic. I'm not seeking the properties of the fermented garlic per se in this dish. So I'm gonna let that boil, and I'll be back once the brine has boiled and cooled down, and I'm ready to start putting the perilla in the jar. This is what the brine looks like now. So I'm gonna stuff a leaf in the jar, push it down in here, put a little brine, or a lot of brine, put a leaf in, put a little brine, put a leaf in, put a little brine, and make sure you scoop up some of that garlic that's in here. And you can push it down as you go. Y'all, this stuff is like something I've never had before. And it helps me learn a different culture's food, and I'm preserving. So it hits all those nerdy vibes in my brain. All right, so that part is done. I feel like I want to get a little bit more brine up underneath the leaves here. So I'm just going to use a chopstick to do that. So then the next thing to do is to top it with some sesame seeds. And like 1 to 2 teaspoons, and then 1 to 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. I'm gonna stir that up with the chopstick. And then I have plenty of brine left, so I'm going to pour some of this on top. Because that brine, once it is infused with the perilla leaf, ooh, so good, so good. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to top it with this. And then let me see if I can get it level. So in 2 days, this will be ready to eat. So this is some Kkaennip Jangajji that I made in September. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on some steamed rice. But for now, we're going to take this one and put it in the fridge. But oh, I got to put a label on it. All right, so we're going to put this one in the fridge. It'll be a couple of days. And I've got a bowl of rice. All right, and then this is what the existing jar looks like. I don't have a weight on it because I don't need that anymore. And this is what one of the leaves looks like. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the brine, drizzle on there. All right, let's try it out. I mean, I know it's already good, so I'm just giving you, cooking show vibes today. Y'all, it's good. Trust me, it's good. If you like basil, mint type of flavors, and I'm telling you, the basil is a little bit more prevalent than the mint, but it's not overpowering. It's not basil, it's not mint. It is perilla. And I love it fresh. I've told you guys that already in this video, but this pickled soy pickled thing going on here. This is a gift. So I got some encouragement here. I really encourage you to try to grow perilla when your next warm season approaches. I think I'm going to attempt to try to grow perilla indoors in my hydroponic system. So stay tuned for that. And then I encourage you to try it once you can harvest off the plant. And I also hope and encourage you to try this recipe. Now, you don't have to grow this and wait to grow this, but I'm just encouraging you to grow it because I'm a gardener. But you don't have to grow it. You can go to an Asian grocery store, one that primarily caters to Korean clientele, and get some of these leaves in the produce department. And then you can make a small batch and be like, ooh, Naja, you were right. And then you'll want to make this over and over again. I'm going to take another bite. You know, that food dance people do. That's what I'm doing. And something's really good and it just hits the spot. So friends, this concludes the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope today is the goodest of your good days and make everything fall in place for you. And I'll see you again soon. Happy kitchen. Bye-bye.